Hello. Hi, Todd. How you going?
Good, Kathy. How are you?
I'm really well. Thank you so much for agreeing to have a chat with me. I know that I've put you a little bit outside of your comfort zone. I don't promise to make it any easier. Okay.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I know. He says.
Love this sort of stuff.
First of all, I just quickly introduce everyone to Todd. Todd joined the Renovation College a few months back, and he's actually working with me over a period of 12 months, and his goals are quite big, really, because he not only wants to learn how to do this effectively so that he can buy the right properties and, make sure that he makes money on it, but he also wants to, in the future, turn it into a career. So, Todd, you already have a previous property journey, so that's really cool for other people to know that it's an ongoing thing, isn't it? Like education, it's just
It is.
ongoing.
Oh, you never stop learning.
No, absolutely. So you currently have 8 properties, including the one that you live in, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they're all over the place. Tell us the areas that your properties are in.
Well, half of them in Sydney, half of them in Newcastle.
Right. Okay. So.
Yeah, Newcastle I live, so.
And then Newcastle's where you live. That's right, yeah. It's really funny, Todd, because since I met you, I've had a lot of association with Newcastle. How weird is that? I don't know if you caught it this morning, but this morning I had another chat to Steve and Tanya from...
Oh, yeah, well, Steve actually only lives up the road from me.
Oh, serious? Wow. Well, I always enjoy it. It's a lot of fun. They're great people, yeah. But it's been interesting because since we've connected, that has happened a lot, So, yeah, it's pretty cool. Okay, so you have 7 other properties and they're in Newcastle and Sydney. Now, I know that you have renovated before and you've built before and you've done a ton of stuff, right?
Yes.
And then you've seen this, and it's a little outside of the square of some of what you've done before, because it's all cosmetic, really, isn't it? What I'm teaching is to do it in, a percentage range and make sure that you see the profit before you start. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So tell us a bit about where you are in your journey. I know, but just you talk and tell us a little bit about, your properties, what you want to do and so on. Go from there. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, previously to doing this course, I had one of the first properties I bought in Sydney, totally renovated.
Yes.
There was a builder I had down there, and I met him through a buyer's agent who helped me find the property in the first place.
Yeah.
And he was doing all the properties at the time, and he was able to do a full internal and external renovation on that house.
Yeah.
For $35,000, which is nothing.
Yeah, that's very good.
For what he did, and that was great. And it increased that value of that house because I actually had it valued at the time before the renovation was done.
Awesome. As
if the renovation was done.
Yeah.
And it was, I had, $70,000
increase. Amazing. That's awesome, isn't it?
Like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
So spent $35,000 on it, and it was revalued before the renovation at another $70,000.
Unbelievable. So I'm going to just quickly mention the suburb that's in. It's in St Mary's, which is in New South Wales, right? And and for our New South Welsh people, that's around the Penrith area. That's a suburb of Penrith. And it's been really interesting because Penrith has been going up for some time. And initially it was mostly the central part of Penrith that was really booming. But what has happened in the last year or so, and is increasing, is those surrounding areas have all been going up a lot, right? Yeah. From what I've heard, there's a lot of action going down there, and some of the prices of those houses are unbelievable. Compared to even a few short years ago, they are doubled, some of them. It's amazing.
They have doubled.
Yeah, so you have definitely had the Midas touch in buying the right property, in the right place, for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, and it's
yeah.
never going to go down because it's in a place that people want to live. The transport and so on is quite accessible. You can get into the city if that's where you work or, whatever. So, yeah, you've really done well with that property for sure. Yeah, which is
Yeah,
awesome.
well, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was very happy with that, and then only just recently I've had another house in St Mary's totally renovated inside and out.
Okay, and tell us the story with that
So,
one.
yeah, I spent $80,000 doing that one, but this is why I was interested in your course, Kathy, because to be able to get in and maybe do, cheaper renovations,
Yes.
cosmetic renovations, and still maximise
The return.
your return on the
Yeah,
property.
that's right. Yeah. So I think we had this. We've already had a little bit of this conversation, but now we're going to join everyone else into it as well. But because you have a number of properties, you probably have potential already. Even if you didn't look at anything outside of what you have at the moment, you already have some room to make some more money.
Yeah, exactly. Because there's still another two down there
Yeah.
that I haven't renovated.
Wow. In the same area?
Yes, very much the same area. Not exactly St Mary's, but there's Tregear
Yep.
and Colleton, which are
That's right.
next door to St Mary's.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, yeah, how many have you got in that area? You've got 3 in that area.
4.
4. Amazing. Wow.
Yeah.
So you've renovated 2. You know for sure the third one does, but what about the fourth one? So
yeah, they could
all of them
very well do with a cosmetic renovation.
Okay, so just quickly, it's off track to this conversation, but maybe if you could think about getting in, we'll go over this in more detail, but it would be good to get a little bit of a blueprint done on each of those houses so that you can work out the numbers and work out what potential you have got for equity in just even those properties alone. Just to start off, that's a brilliant way, yeah. So you did the course, the 6-week part, and as I said, you're joining me for a whole year, so we've got a long journey ahead. But what you've picked up on so far, just share it with other people. Like share because you are experienced, right? To a lot of people who haven't even bought a house before, like you have a lot of experience. So you joined this. What have you picked up so far from the course that can help someone else?
Really about looking for the houses myself. That's where I didn't have.
So that's number 1, yeah.
I didn't have that experience. When the ones I bought in Sydney, I used a buyer's agent.
Yep.
He did all that searching.
Okay.
That's what I'm interested in doing myself now.
Learning that research. And sorry to interrupt, but what sort of money would that save you to just do that?
Well, a buyer's agent usually anything from $10,000 to $15,000 per property.
Right. So if you just learned how to do that on one property, you're done. You've already saved. Yeah. Yep. Cool. Okay. So that's number 1, and that's easy. Yeah.
Yeah, and being able to go through the place and being able to, know what you can do with the place.
Yes.
Cosmetically.
Yep.
And being able to do it.
Yeah. So being able to do it to a budget, really.
Yeah.
Tiny budget.
Yeah, tiny budget.
Tiny budget. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that's cool because I think that we definitely live in an environment where let's face it, we're sold this story as well, even in the news and so on, where we're sold the story of bigger is better and spend more money and it's got to be better, it's worth more and all of that crap. But the truth of the matter is, older houses that have got issues can often be turned into far bigger bucks than newer properties can, because they've been sitting there, and it's only cosmetic. Like a lot of the times it's just a lot of things just need to be painted, cleaned, fixed up, tidied up, That's the to-do list, But I think you nailed something just a minute ago, and that's learning how to research, because there's always money in that. Like, I'm sure
exactly.
your buyer's agent, he brought those properties at the right price, you know, and even though you had a fee, right, it still would have been okay for you anyway. You know, it's still not, you're not paying overpriced property or anything like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, to be able to find all that and do all that research myself.
Yep.
Know what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Know what I want and find it. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So, do you have any advice for anybody that might want to do it? Is there any advice, you know, that might want to, that the course might help them in any way, shape, or form?
Well, the thing is, I'm a big believer is, if there's something you really want to do, you find someone who's doing it and you learn from them.
Yep.
So, which is exactly why I'm doing your course, Kathy, because you have been able to achieve something that I'm interested in achieving.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm more than happy to do the course.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you. I think that's a big thing in today's world, isn't it? There's plenty of people out there that, you know, maybe they have degrees in things, but they don't have any experience. And at the end of the day, that's what you need. You need something, you know, how do I do this the easy way rather than take 10 years or something like that? Yeah, for sure. I agree.
You can do things by yourself, but you'll make mistakes.
Yeah.
And when you're dealing with, say, housing, you know, it could cost you thousands and thousands of dollars.
Hundreds of thousands of dollars. That's true. Yeah.
So, again, if you find someone who's
already done
what you do,
yeah,
they've already made the mistakes.
Definitely some.
So you can actually avoid those mistakes.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, particularly where the bigger money is concerned. I think that's the message, isn't it? You know, when you buy a house, it's funny, isn't it? We're almost taught that it's okay to just randomly buy a house and have absolutely zero knowledge on how much we should pay or who we should trust. And it's like the biggest thing we're ever going to buy in our whole life, you know. And, you know, we're almost taught such the wrong thing, you know.
You talk to a real estate agent if you're buying a house, and, you know, he's going to be your best friend, but at the end of the day, he's working for the vendor. So he's after the highest price he can get.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And really, you want to pay the lowest price you can pay.
Especially if you're a renovator. You do not want to pay the highest price.
That's right.
Exactly.
You want it at the cheapest price.
Exactly. Exactly. All right. Listen, Todd, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. It's really cool that to work with you, because you do have a lot of experience in a ton of other things. So I'm very excited about the next 12 months as well. And for other people, just to know that, you know, it really is an ongoing journey of education for all of us. So thank you so much for today, and we shall talk soon.
Okay, Kathy, thanks very much.
Thanks, Todd. Bye.
Bye.